Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, whatever, and wherever you may be listening to us. You have your ears locked into the Caps, Locks, and Chair Shots podcast. My name is Edward Keene. I am your host for these festivities. And joining me, as always, he is the muscle of the podcast, future MMA champion, and voice of all of Southeast Asia. He is the one, the only, the Jaime.
What's up, wrestling fans? Are you ready to get shook?
I guess we're not really ready there, Jaime. All right, and also joining us, he is my tag team partner, my arch nemesis, and my very best friend. You can find him from all around the internet, but you can only find his wrestling stuff right here. He is the real Danny D, Dan Dorrit.
What's up, wrestling fans? Let's get this show on the road.
That's what Jaime meant to say. All right, we got a lot of stuff to talk about coming up here today. We're going to talk about the Superstar shakeup only a week after it already happened. We're going to talk about the biggest Royal Rumble just 4 days before that happens. We're going to give you an update on NXT. We're going to talk about 205 Live. Dan's going to tell you about what's going on in the indie scene, and we're even going to update you on Impact Wrestling. All of that and more, you can find that here right on the Caps, Locks, and Chair Shots podcast. But let's begin with the Superstar shakeup. Jaime, let's go to you first. Who won?
SmackDown, definitely. As good names as you have, like Bobby Roode, you have Baron Corbin, you have Drew McIntyre and Dolph coming over in Raw. You also have good names on SmackDown, especially the number 2 guy in The Miz. So 1 and 2, AJ Styles, The Miz on the same show. That's best for business.
Daniel, would you wish to weigh in on this?
No, I mean, for one time, he's actually correct, and he gave us an answer. He didn't say, well, you know.
But maybe.
So I'm just going to agree with him because he gave us a straight answer.
Yeah, and that.
And take note, they got Andrade Cien Almas. That's the steal of the draft.
Just going to make that point, Jaime. Thank you. And you kind of already answered it. Dan, I want to hear your opinion first. What was the biggest name to move to one of the other brands?
It's got to be Joe.
You think? More than The Miz?
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I'm still expecting The Miz to take some time off to be at home with Maurice and the baby.
Okay.
Maybe he's just flying out for TV right now. I don't really know his schedule. Unfortunately, the Miz planner got deleted from my phone, so I don't know his schedule anymore. But if he's going to be on TV, then yeah, I think that's a huge name. But that's also going to be a great feud with him and Daniel Bryan. But I think if we get a healthy Joe all wrestling year long, it's got to be Joe.
You see, this is why I love writing out a script, because we all get on the same page. And for the second topic in a row, somebody stole my thunder and stole exactly what I was going to say. Jaime, is Dan right?
Miz spending time off. They could make it work because they made it work last week when Miz broadcasted live that he's at home spending time with his beautiful wife and his daughter Monroe Sky. So that's just they could do that. Like, remember when the Miz was absent for the Marine? He was like doing promos live. That's pretty much what I expect, which is going to be awesome.
Okay, so that was vintage Jaime right there, who once again was asked a question and talked about something completely different. I was asking you, is Samoa Joe the biggest mover in the draft? And you talked about The Miz taking time off.
That's the reason why I'm talking about The Miz. Because as big as Joe is, The Miz is the biggest move.
I'm going to disagree with both of you, and I'm going to say it's going to be Drew McIntyre, because I have no faith in Joe to stay healthy. Dan's right, The Miz is going to go away. But McIntyre can not only revive his career and put 3MB long behind us, but he can also revive Dolph Ziggler's career. And I don't think we're going to be too far away from them two holding a tag team championship in the very, very near future. All right, let's move on. On Monday Night Raw...
Well, we can't move on completely because I have to ask you a question because this is an Edinism.
Okay.
I know part of you wants there to be a backstage vignette of Slater and Rhino Jinder and whichever brother, and McIntyre and Dolph, just all kind of crossing paths. And all you do is you just see Slater go like this.
Oh, sir. No. Because, yes, while I did want this, are you forgetting what happens on Friday? Are you forgetting that there could quite possibly be all three of them in the same ring by themselves during a 50-man match? Or not even by themselves. Just have a few guys scattered in this corner, a few guys scattered in this corner, and then you have Drew McIntyre, who just threw three guys over the ramp, or over the rope, and now you have him getting ready to throw Jinder over, and then Slater comes in and gets between them, and they just kind of look at each other, and he's looking back and forth, and, Jinder and Drew were staring at each other, and all of a sudden you see all three of them do it, and then Drew proceeds to throw both of them over the top rope. I'm telling you, I think it's going to happen. But speaking of Jinder Mahal, we saw him go to Raw and promptly lose his United States Championship to Jeff Hardy, who then went to SmackDown to keep the U.S. title on the blue brand. Daniel, was this a good idea?
I don't think that title stays on the blue brand.
You think Jinder brings it back after Friday?
Yeah.
Okay, Jaime, is he right?
Well, there's a title Jinder can compete on Raw, so why take back the U.S. title?
Okay.
Because the Intercontinental title's going to SmackDown.
Why, Dan? Who?
I think it's just a little bit of a swerve.
Okay, but why? Like, who's the Intercontinental Champion right now?
Rollins.
Why would he go to SmackDown? Why would they move him to SmackDown after the shakeup? It doesn't make sense.
But The Miz can win the title back. Or Joe can win the title.
I don't... Oh, wait, is that a match on Friday?
Yeah.
I mean, it could happen.
But Rollins going to SmackDown, isn't that bad for business given the Monday Night Rollins t-shirt sales?
No, not Rollins isn't going to go. I'm just specifically talking about the title itself.
So you're saying Jinder beats Jeff, and then Joe will beat Seth, and the belts go opposite ways.
Yep.
That's a bold prediction. Let's see how that works out.
They're in Saudi Arabia, right? So either those two titles got to change. There's going to be a title change on Friday.
Yeah,
There's going to be.
Brock's going to lose to Roman.
Come to think of it, it's possible, given that The Miz has gone to SmackDown.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know Dan was making a rash generality that Jinder's a brown person, and they're fighting in front of a bunch of brown people. You racist bastard, you.
That actually wasn't even going through my mind, but...
That's kind of how you made it sound. That Jinder's going to win because he's in his home country, but India is nowhere near Saudi Arabia.
It's just a WWE swerve. It's a way for them to surprise us.
Okay, you look at the matches that they're promoting here for this Friday night, whatever, Friday afternoon, Friday day, whatever. We saw the cage match between Brock and Roman get mentioned. The casket match between Rusev and The Undertaker, which apparently is back on after Jericho was in and then out. And John Cena versus Triple H. No mention of either title there.
Hold on. What? The Rusev match? I thought it was Jericho.
Nope, got changed back as announced per promo earlier in Raw today.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's back on. And Jericho has been announced for the 50 largest Battle Royal Rumble rip-off, whatever. Anyway, let's move on. We'll talk more about that later on. Okay, so we had a lot of movement go back and forth. Other than The Miz and Daniel Bryan, what dream matches can you guys postulate with all the changing?
Joe AJ?
Yeah, that's one that I'm only excited for that one if Christopher Daniels somehow makes a miraculous return, and then they put that in Ultimate X, because that's just fantastic. Jaime, let me hear a dream match from you.
Almas versus anyone on any top star on SmackDown Live.
Okay. Once again, we have Jaime hedging his bets and going very middle of the road there. Dan, give me another one.
Oh, I kinda want to see McIntyre and Brock.
Ooh. Okay, I can see that. I mean, I don't want to see that, but I can see that.
I just think that'd be one of those hard-hitting matches that people would actually be okay with seeing Brock in, because it's not Taker or Roman.
Well,
Baron Corbin or Roman Reigns.
Oh, God. To be honest, both of those matches kind of sound sucky. Because the Brock and Drew thing, Drew's not going to be able to dominate that match. And the crowd is going to boo the hell out of that match the entire time. And Corbin has done absolutely nothing. And who did you say he was going to go up against? Roman Reigns?
Roman Reigns.
The most unover person in the history of wrestling. Because that match won't be booed out of the building.
Now, if I remember correctly, before Drew went down that wrong path of 3MB, wasn't he like Vince's golden boy?
Yes, he...
Wasn't he like...
Oh!
Yeah.
See what you're going with there, but you gotta remember, according to Roman Reigns, he's not the golden boy. It's Brock Lesnar. So, I see what you're going with, Dan. And I like it. I like it a lot. Have Reigns come out, start a feud between Roman and Drew. And Reigns' whole new thing could be just destroying all of Vince's golden boys, leading to a match between him and Triple H at WrestleMania. God, we should work in Stamford. Anyway, how about we have a new SmackDown general manager and it's Paige? Is that a good move?
I hope that's a good move for whoever's been leaking these nudes.
Okay, Jaime, bring us back to the PG realm. Good or bad?
It's a good move for your Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, because I see Paige going into the mold of a heel. They're bringing back that heel general manager, and if you're going to have a heel general manager, then you have to get her minions on her show, right?
Okay, I see that. Now, Jaime, you're somebody that sees beauty in life and sees love in life. You know, you called out Bobby Roode and Charlotte over that. Was it me, or did there seem to be a little tension, a little romantic vibes going between Paige and Shane? It seemed awkward, no?
Yeah, that really seemed awkward.
Oh, Dan, agree, disagree? No?
No, I disagree.
Oh my gosh! Oh! You all are missing out one of the best dream matches. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Samoa Joe.
Yes.
Oh, yeah!
There we go.
I'd like to see that.
Something we can all look forward to. All right. Since we're talking about love, and Jaime, since this is kind of your pet project and your, thing that you like to see, did they split Bobby Roode and Charlotte up for a reason?
Possibly. Yeah. That's a possibility, especially that the issues are already coming out because Corey Graves had to open his mouth. And, that Charlotte tweet and her reaction to seeing Bobby Roode like her Prince Charming. Possibly, yeah, to avoid further issues, because I think Bobby Roode's married.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time weddings or marriages have been destroyed because of...
Bray Wyatt.
I didn't...
Oh, yeah.
Or John Cena. Speaking of John Cena and marriages and weddings and everything else, came across an interesting article on Facebook. Truth, still up there for debate. Apparently, Nikki Bella has called off the wedding between her and John Cena. Anybody shocked at this?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it real?
Is it really called off?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
No? Okay. Well. All right.
You disagree?
I mean, maybe it's just because I'm so much of a fan of John Cena, but if dude proposed to me and he's a 16-time world champion, I think I would put up with all of his stupid rules and everything else just to say I'm married to John Cena.
I am so happy this is going to be on the internet forever.
Yeah.
Or until Podbean decides to reject my bank card and the podcast gets taken down.
No, because I'm going to actually go back and record that off the podcast, and that's how we're going to open up the shows from now on.
Oh, what? That I would like to marry John Cena?
Yes.
I make no secret about it. I love John Cena. I love him in a way that a man should probably not love another man and still call himself heterosexual. But I love John Cena. Anyway.
Where is Anna?
She's in bed. But it's kind of the same feelings that Jaime has towards Baron Corbin.
Yes, I know. I see you both have that same look in your
Or
eye.
kind of the way you feel about Marty Scurll. Is that the right one? Or is it
No.
Kenny Omega?
Nope.
No, the Invisible Man and the Wrestling Elmo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. It's what is that guy's name? Joey with the lollipop, that guy?
Joey Ryan? No.
Yes, Joey Ryan. All right.
No.
Let's move on before my face gets any redder. Thank God this is a podcast and we're not doing this with video. All right. We saw on SmackDown the Bludgeon Brothers completely and absolutely destroy the Usos to the point to where Naomi came down to save her husband. Is this a good move?
Made them look really weak.
I agree. I mean, after all the momentum the Usos had, that just looked terrible. Jaime, you agree or disagree?
I agree, because what happened to the Uso Penitentiary?
I think there was a jailbreak.
Yeah.
I mean,
Their jail got broken by giant sledgehammers.
yeah, I would say that was pretty. So we're all in agreement that was just terrible.
Yeah, because
That was terrible.
the Usos can't win the belt back now.
I would say the
That's a
Usos
match-
can't
That's
exist
match
as a
with
tag
the,
team now.
Fedora.
All right, let's move on. We saw somebody turn from a good guy to a bad guy. We're thinking it could be a big name. Maybe Nakamura comes back to the good side, or AJ turns dark, or maybe Bobby Roode becomes a heel. But no, the big name to turn was Shelton Benjamin. For one, does anybody care?
Yes, I am so happy they split him and Gable. I don't think that ever should have been a tag team. I feel like Benjamin should have came back as a heel and immediately had a title run.
Jaime, how do you feel?
Yeah, that's a good move, because wasn't it that they were planning big things for Shelton's singles career once he got back, but he got injured. Then when he got back, they had Jason Jordan pushed to Monday Night Raw, which means that left Gable without a teammate. That's why they put Shelton Benjamin on him when they shouldn't have in the first place.
Yeah, I agree with you guys there, but Shelton Benjamin just seems like the kind of guy that's been around forever, that he's lost in the shuffle. And I don't think him cutting one promo on a SmackDown talking about how bad his tag team partner was, and then promptly getting beat by Jeff Hardy, helps him in any way, shape, or form become relevant. But that's just my 2 cents. Am I wrong there?
No, you're not wrong.
Shelton's not much of a talker.
And they gave him a microphone and gave him 4 minutes on SmackDown.
That's
No.
the worst thing they've ever done.
Oh, Jaime,
Trust me, I
no.
can name some things that are worse.
Oh, no. Katie Vick. Hornswoggle. McMahon.
Okay. We don't have enough time in the show to go through all of them.
I'm just saying. Oh, how about Vince McMahon dying before Chris Benoit did? That was pretty brutal. Anyway, all right. Last thing on the Superstar Shakeup. Twitter was utilized to announce names going back and forth. such as Zack Ryder and
Woo, woo, woo.
you know it, and others.
Bro, do
Um.
you believe in miracles?
Anyway, was it a good move using social media, or did it kind of cheapen the whole thing, especially for guys that nobody really has seen in a while, like Mike Kanellis?
What made you think of Mike Kanellis?
He was definitely announced on Twitter and not on the main show, and we
it
haven't
had
seen
nothing.
him.
It had nothing to do with me saying, "Do you believe in miracles?"
No.
You're
Oh,
wrong.
because God, I can't believe. Oh,
Didn't
that's
they
my fault,
always
guys.
do that? They have this type of supplemental draft.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
The only thing is, back in the day, Twitter didn't exist.
It doesn't make any sense because those guys weren't even on TV. Nobody would have noticed if they'd gone from Raw to SmackDown for their one TV appearance in 3 months. Nobody would have noticed or cared. Dan, was that good? It looked like you just picked your nose and ate it.
Blew my nose. There's the booger.
Thank you. Thank you for that. All right. So, Dan, were you a fan of this? Yes or no?
It depends on what they do with him. If they give Kanellis, if they let it be Monday Night Mike, I screwed that up the first time.
You absolutely did, and I'm not editing it out.
So, yeah, I like it. But if he's just working house shows and losing, no, I don't like it.
What about
Where's
his
Kurt Hawkins at?
unemployment line?
Okay, Kurt Hawkins didn't move. Okay, good. The streak's still alive then.
I'm just saying, it's terrible. AJ and Nakamura are facing off on Friday. All right, let's start there. Greatest Royal Rumble. I had a list of things we were going to talk about, but they're going over the card right now. We have AJ versus Shinsuke. We have a 50-man Battle Royal match where only 17 guys are shown on the television. Brock and Roman. Rusev and, here we go, Intercontinental Ladder match. Miz, Seth, Joe, and Finn. Which,
Two from each brand.
I mean, that'd be a badass match even if it wasn't a ladder match. No mention of the U.S. title match. We got Rusev and Undertaker in a casket. Brock and Roman in a cage. And Triple H and John Cena.
I wonder if the U.S. title match got moved because it's on Hardy, and I don't know if he's allowed to leave the States right now.
Which makes that even dumber. Anyway, good gravy. Okay, why such a ridiculous name? Couldn't they come up with something bigger? The Desert Destructathon or
That's definitely not better.
something. It's better than the Greatest Battle Royal. Well, we already did 30. We already did 40. Let's just put 50 people in there. And just
What
make it
what does the winner win? That's what I want to know.
Trophy.
What?
No title match. Nothing else. A trophy.
Alright, that's dumb.
So,
Yeah.
are you guys a fan
That's
of this
dumb.
name?
No. Because what do you get when you win the Royal Rumble?
You get a title shot.
Where?
WrestleMania.
So why don't I get a title shot at SummerSlam if I win the greatest Royal Rumble?
Because that would cheapen it in saying that this Royal Rumble is lesser than the one that happens every year. Because SummerSlam
You're
is less.
doing that by letting the winner win a trophy.
I don't know, man.
It might be like the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. The only difference is it's a Royal Rumble. And it's on the main event.
Oh, wait, so you said it's going to be like the Andre the Giant thing where if you win it, they don't use you for a solid year and it kills all positive momentum you've ever had? Kind of thing?
Yes.
Possibly.
Okay,
It's
fair
a
enough.
no-bearing thing.
Okay.
For the sake of entertainment.
Any chance that Brock Lesnar walks out of Saudi Arabia with the Universal Championship?
Absolutely.
You think he's going to win?
He's going to win.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Okay. I'm not. I mean, I'm good, but I really don't care about this. I'm gonna be stuck at the newspaper on Friday, so I really don't care. Anyway, let's move on. What has the potential to be the best match on the card?
Shinsuke AJ.
You think so?
Yeah.
Even though it's a rematch?
Yep.
Yep.
Every time that match is on a card, it has the potential to be the best match.
You think they're going to be able to do it better than what they did at Mania?
I hope so.
I think that's the reason why we weren't satisfied with the one at Mania, because there's a better match coming up. This might be it.
Okay, all right. Now here, this doesn't make any sense, but okay, here we go. These are the 10 announced matches, and we're going to go through them one by one. I want you guys to just give me the winners of each one. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. Taker,
Yeah.
Rusev in a casket. Dan, who wins?
Taker.
Jaime.
Taker.
Taker.
Okay, I agree. John Cena, Triple H. Jaime.
Cena.
Dan.
Trips.
It's Cena. Cedric Alexander versus to be determined for the Cruiserweight Championship. Dan.
Cedric.
Okay.
Cedric.
I'm going to go with TBD. Just because. Bludgeon Brothers, Harper and Rowan, the champions versus Jimmy and Jay, the Usos. Any chance the Usos make this a match?
Nope.
No.
I agree. The leader of worlds, which by the way, I hate these two already. Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy versus The Bar for the vacant Raw Tag Team Championships. Hold on, why are these vacant now?
Because Nicholas and Braun had to give up the belts.
I was not aware. So okay, that just makes my head hurt even more about why that had to happen at WrestleMania.
They relinquished the belts because Nicholas's schedule didn't work, and he still had the third grade to go to.
Oh my god, that makes me want to shoot everybody that made that decision at WrestleMania. Okay, so we got The Bar.
They must have owed the referee one. They must have owed him one.
To get his kid in there on WrestleMania. Wow, it's just wow. Okay, so we have The Bar versus Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. The Hardys win, or yeah, I'm just gonna call them the Hardys. The Hardys win this, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Jeff Hardy versus Jinder Mahal for the United States Championship. As of right now, this is still on. So, who wins? We already know what Dan thinks. Jaime?
I'm going with Jeff Hardy here.
Okay, I agree. AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE Championship. Daniel?
AJ.
Jaime?
I'll let my fandom win. AJ.
I'm going to say it's Nakamura, and I can't tell you why. Seth Rollins, the Intercontinental Champion, will take on Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, and The Miz in a ladder match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Who wins?
The Miz.
Dan?
The Miz, but Jaime, so you're telling me Raw has no secondary championship with, according to you, a part-time Universal Championship.
Ooh.
Please elaborate, Jaime.
Yes, dude, you were caught. Ooh.
Yeah, I was caught there. But remember, Dan said there's a swerve, so there's a possibility that the belt would go to Raw. Although I picked Jeff, so I'm picking The Miz.
So, okay.
So you're still picking two guys that are on the same show.
What? Whoa,
I'm
whoa.
only picking Jeff. Jeff is going to Saudi Arabia, but if it's somebody else going there,
I propose a world where Jaime's idea can work. Y'all ready for this?
Oh, God.
Jeff Hardy and The Miz
I'm ready.
both win, and then they have a unification bout at the next pay-per-view down the line. And then Raw, we need a secondary title. Now, where is there a secondary title that may have just been created with a guy who's probably ready to come up to Monday Night Raw? Maybe
You're drunk.
Adam Cole, baby, shows up on Monday Night Raw with the North American Championship, and bam, Monday Night Raw has their secondary championship.
You're drunk.
Well, let me add to that. What if he takes the Undisputed Era and recruits Mike Kanellis and form the Ring of Honor Invasion?
Jesus Christ, I hate you both.
Oh, and there's so many people that could fit into. Jaime, you're a genius. But before we get the Ring of Honor invasion, there's got to be the Impact invasion first. That's going to happen. The TNA invasion. The TN invasion? The T invasion? The T invasion? We'll work on it, but that's got to happen first. All right. Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, steel cage for the Universal Championship. Who do we got?
Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
This is Vince's boy.
Jaime, I'm impressed with the American accent on you. That was nice. Who you got?
Jaime, be careful. He sounded very attractive to
Fuck. Shut up, Dan.
that.
Jaime, who do you have?
Brock.
It's Roman, because I think Vince is still a little ticked off about the belt throwing incident after WrestleMania and everything else. So I'm going to say Roman Reigns gets it because we all know who the real Vince's boy is. All right, here's the big one. The 50-man Royal Rumble match. The greatest Royal Rumble match in the history of Royal Rumbles. We're going to see names like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, Kurt Angle, Daniel Bryan, Triple H, John Cena, Bobby Lashley, Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, The Bar, Roman Reigns, and everybody else on the roster. Probably some legends, maybe some NXT guys. Maybe they'll pick the guy in the third row. Maybe Nicholas has his second match in the WWE. So, who wins the greatest Royal Rumble? Daniel?
It is the one, the only
Jaime's not going to make it.
Rock.
The Rock?
I'm just kidding, McIntyre.
I mean, it would make sense every time Dwayne's got a big movie out. He does make an appearance in the WWE. This seems like a place where he could at least make a cameo, and, Rampage is doing well. Maybe you're not too far off on that, Daniel.
Oh, I'll leave him for you to pick.
No, I have a special pick. Jaime,
I have a special pick as well.
who do you got? Let's hear it.
Baron Corbin.
Wow, and let's take a look on the chart of predictability for Jaime's pick. Yeah, everybody saw that coming. No, the winner here is going to be Kevin Owens. No, you know what? He's going to get screwed over by Shane. It's Daniel Bryan. They got to keep that momentum rolling. And I think it's going to come down to him and The Miz, and they're going to go about 10 minutes and them two by themselves for that. And I think that's where they're going to plant the seed for SummerSlam. Right there. And Daniel Bryan's going to win. Mark my words, this is going to happen.
You actually had a good idea.
I think it is a good idea. Now, speaking of the Royal Rumble match, or the greatest Royal Rumble match, because it's not January, how many legends are we going to see in the Royal Rumble? Over, under, I'm going to put it at 5.5.
Under.
Jaime?
I'm going to put it at 6 or 8 because there are legends that
Okay.
aren't really the biggest stars back in the day but are considered legends.
So,
they could make an appearance.
Jaime clearly doesn't know how an over-under bet works. But he said it's basically going to be over. All right. Are we going to see DDP?
No, absolutely not.
You no to DDP. How about Christian?
No.
Jaime, feel free to jump in. Let's see who else. Hulk Hogan.
No.
Possible? Yeah.
Okay, Jaime's coming in strong with the Hulkster. Let's see who Kevin Nash.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Are his quads in good enough condition? Is a better question.
I think you have a better shot of Road Dogg.
Oh well, obviously Road Dogg's a given. How about Scott Hall?
No.
Goldberg?
No.
No?
No.
I think it's possible. Maybe, let's see. Maybe the Iron Sheik. Maybe Sabu. No?
Absolutely not.
You don't think Sabu? How about Rob Van Dam?
No. Isn't like drugs and alcohol illegal over there?
It is.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean,
Yeah, so we're not getting anyone from ECW.
yeah, there goes Sandman. Tommy Dreamer signed with Impact. Yeah. All right.
Sad day in wrestling.
I know ECW's probably dead. Anyway, let's move on. Jaime, fill us in on NXT and 205 Live. What do you got?
205 Live, I haven't followed that much, but from what I heard, Buddy Murphy's being shot to the top. Straight out of NXT, he's being shot to the top. He's poised to be Cedric Alexander's legit rival. He might be that TBD. Since last episode of 205 Live, Cedric Alexander didn't make weight.
Wait, what?
And Cedric Alexander, sorry, Buddy Murphy didn't make weight because they have this mandatory weigh-in, and they have this angle where Buddy Murphy cut a lot of weight just to make 205, just to compete. Last week he didn't make weight.
See, it's storylines like that that make me miss Crash Holly, because I would totally love to see somebody like a Braun Strowman. You know, they come up and he's got to make weight, and he comes out with this ridiculous scale that says he weighs 204 pounds and 15 ounces, to where he makes weight. And he just demolishes everybody in 205 Live, but they have to go by the official scale, and the official scale is rigged. And it's just Braun just beating the crap out of guys he can curl. I'd like to see a storyline like that, because 205 Live is already as nonsensical as it gets anyway. So let's go from there. What's going on NXT there, bud?
Well, big things are to come for NXT. Roderick Strong is now part of the Undisputed Era, and they're going to make an appearance this week to explain Roderick Strong's actions, I suppose, or just brag about their accomplishments, because last TakeOver, not only did they defend the tag team titles, but they also won the Dusty Cup. Also, Adam Cole set to defend the North American Championship in his first title defense against Oney Lorcan. I hope Danny Burch gets involved here, because definitely Adam Cole has the Undisputed Era on his side, and Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch are a tag team, so I hope he gets involved here in a hard-hitting affair.
Hey, fair enough. It really shocked me at that TakeOver when Roderick Strong put the armband on. You know, it's something I didn't think we were ever going to see, especially after he spurned them for as long as he did. Dan, you saw that live, did you not?
I did.
How did that come across as somebody sitting in seats?
I didn't see it coming.
Care to elaborate on that, or?
No, I mean it was shocking. Like the whole they shocked the crowd, kind of like they shocked the system.
I see
I
what
went
you
nuts,
did there.
But I didn't see it coming.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that leads to a Mustache Mountain feud with the Undisputed Era.
Okay.
And I think since Pete Dunne has a bone to pick with Roderick Strong, and I mentioned Danny Burch, who is a UK guy, there is a possibility that if Danny Burch gets involved in the North American title match this week, Pete Dunne's gonna make an appearance as well.
Well, remember, now, is that North American Championship only supposed to be contested in North America?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen anything.
But Americans have challenged for the UK title. Johnny Gargano, Roderick Strong.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm honestly hoping that with Roderick Strong joining the Undisputed Era, it's eventually going to lead down the road to a Roderick Strong Adam Cole match for the North American Championship, and somehow either the winner or loser of that match gets put into the NXT Championship match. Like Adam.
Speaking of the NXT Championship, sorry to interrupt you there, Ed, but speaking of the NXT Championship, at the end of the show last week, Johnny Gargano laid out a challenge to Aleister Black, and Aleister Black came out and accepted the challenge, saying next week. But the match wasn't made official yet. But if it's made official, you have 2 title matches this week on NXT.
Ooh, that may make me want to watch NXT after a while. All right, enough with the 4th brand of professional wrestling. Dan, talk to me about the little guys. What's going on in the indie world?
Oh, man, right now the UK scene is just blowing up. So many good matches. I don't know if either of you guys have BN Sports, but MLW made their television debut this past week on BN. Some good wrestling on there as well. A lot of high-profile indie guys wrestling on there. So that might be something you want to check out. Ed, since you're an indie guy.
Totally. Marty Scroll just gets my motor running. And
okay, Ed, are you not looking at the computer screen?
Not really. No, I'm watching Raw because I tend to tune you out when you're talking about this kind of stuff. Okay, what am I supposed to be looking at?
Just look at Jaime.
Oh, the fact that he's about to die? That may be Jaime right now farting himself to death.
No, I'm pretty sure that was Jaime playing with... Never mind.
Oh.
It's a gorilla pod. It's a tripod, a flexible tripod.
Yeah, sure it was.
Hey, whatever.
I tricked you there, Dan.
Whatever you want to tell yourself to get through the night, Jaime. We don't judge here. This is a judgment.
Not me. It's Dan who.
You were caught red-handed, Jaime.
Who was making thoughts. It was Dan who was making dirty thoughts.
You were caught red-handed, bro. This is a judgment-free zone. We don't judge anybody. We are all-inclusive here. All right. Dan, are you done?
Alex.
Yeah, we all do.
I don't have anything else to add to the shenanigans for the night. Jaime's getting us off track.
Okay, well, I got something to add because, believe it or not, there is another company and a better company in professional wrestling. And that company is Impact. And they just had probably their best pay-per-view in years, from what I've been told. I didn't get to watch it live, watching it tomorrow. So, spoiler alert, I spoiled it for myself. But we had Aerostar versus Drago, which apparently was reviewed rather nicely. I'm not going to give you the win, but let's just say it was done very well. Don Callis has found a new enemy in Josh Matthews, which I'd rather listen to Don Callis than Sanjay Dutt, but that's just me. Scott Steiner is back again because Eli Drake picked Scott Steiner to be his tag team partner to face LAX for the tag team championship. You heard it right. Apparently, Conan got taken out for some reason, which leaves... Anybody want to take a guess on who won that match? Eli Drake and Scott Steiner versus LAX?
Oh, it was Eli Drake and Scott Steiner.
It was Eli Drake and Scott Steiner.
It was Eli Drake and Scott Steiner. Yeah. Drake hit the gravy train.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have new Impact World Tag Team Champions. Anyway, Ishimori versus Desmond Xavier versus El Hijo del Fantasma versus Brian Cage versus DJZ versus Trevor Lee in a match that I am sure had more high spots than actual wrestling maneuvers.
Oh my God, you've never seen Brian Cage wrestle, have you?
I'm going to watch it tomorrow. Guess who wins that match?
Brian Cage.
Absolutely he does. Okay.
That effing machine.
It's the only big guy there.
So apparently, and I hope this doesn't break anybody's heart, but Allie and Braxton Sutter have gone their separate ways. So just want to throw that out there for those of you that haven't watched Impact in a while.
That's so
break my heart.
in real life.
What's that?
Aren't they married in real life?
I thought
Yeah,
it was.
that's the thing.
I thought it was just kayfabe, but
No, they're married in real life.
either way,
Like, how would Ali like someone like Braxton Sutter?
I mean, maybe the dudes. Never mind. Anyway, I still want to see Zack Ryder go to Impact and have Zack Ryder versus Braxton Sutter and have Zack Ryder beat up Braxton Sutter for breaking LVN's heart, because I just think that is an amazing storyline. Kind of blends in realness in there. I think it'd be a hell of a match.
It's gonna look like Jersey Shore. You got two Guidos fighting over a girl.
Jaime, you racist! You can't say that phrase. Only Dan can say that phrase.
Really?
Yeah, that is a racially insensitive slur. Calling somebody a Guido.
Ser-
Yes, seriously.
Seriously?
Yes, seriously. That is like one of the worst things you can call an Italian person. Is a Guido.
Well, I watched too much Jersey Shore. I just finished episode 4 of the reunion.
Jaime, you can't take social cues from Jersey Shore.
I'm sorry.
I know you're trying to be American because it's the greatest country in the world and the Philippines sucks, but you can't take your... Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to apologize for Jaime's views on Italian people and on the Jersey Shore. That show should never be watched by anybody. Anyway, back to Impact. Taya Valkyrie versus Kira Hogan. Anybody want to guess who won? Give you a hint. The match was short. Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Apparently, there was a backstage segment with Petey Williams and Scott Steiner doing math. So you can't miss that. So
Are they trying to revive Little Petey Pump?
I don't know, but there was something about some math, and you have to watch it. All right. Speaking of Petey Williams, Matt Sydal versus Petey Williams for the X Division Championship. Who do you got? Who would win that match?
Petey Williams.
Daniel?
I would be reborn again.
I
was reborn again.
Yeah, you would be correct. With a spiritual advisor on the microphone, Matt Sydal retained his X Division Championship. Now, you ready for something that'll make you sick? Tommy Dreamer, Eddie Edwards, and Moose took on Sami Callihan, Jake and Dave Chris, OBE in a House of Hardcore 6-man tag team match. Now, no, that's not what's going to make you sick. What's going to make you sick is what happened after the match. OBE won by pinfall after a bunch of grotesque weapons were used, and eventually it was a low blow and a roll-up, and that was that. And then I'm going to read you verbatim what I am reading from whatever WrestlingInc.com. Post-match, Edwards attacks Callahan and digs away at his forehead with a barbed wire bat, busting him open. Edwards then grabs the duct tape and tapes Callahan to the top rope. Callahan spits at Edwards and then gets kicked between the legs. He wipes Callahan's blood on his face and swings away with a kendo stick, first at his legs, right over his head, the shoulder, and then hits the ref. Dreamer comes in and tells him to back off. Edwards shoves him down and hammers Callahan right over the head. He smacks down Jake and Dave. Out comes Alicia Edwards to stop him. and Edwards whacks her too. Dreamer and Edwards check on her medical check. It doesn't make any sense after that. But yeah, he whacked his own wife, somebody who he loves more than anything. It's terrible. It makes a good guy seem terrible, does it not? I mean, Eddie Edwards has always been a face, and now they've made him look terrible. It's terrible. Dan, are you as disgusted as I am?
I don't think I could do it.
You saw my facial expression when I heard that.
Speaking of disgusting things right now, how many of you remember Adam Rose and the Rosebuds? Yeah,
I do.
it's how Braun Strowman got his start. And now...
Also Becky Lynch.
Oh, yeah, very true. And now I am sitting here watching Monday Night Raw while we're recording this podcast, and No Way Jose just came out to the ring with the Rosebuds 2.0. I thought I didn't know he was going to be a joke when he came up to Monday Night Raw, right? I mean, is he a joke?
No, he's going to be a Dango and a Breeze and a... Yeah.
Febreze.
Yeah.
Febreze. Giving you a breath of fresh air into your fashion files. I like it.
You want to know who else got their big break as a Rosebud?
Who's that?
James Ellsworth.
What? Oh, yeah.
James Ellsworth was a Rosebud.
Did we ever find out who was in the bunny costume?
Justin Gabriel.
Poor Justin. Moment of silence for Justin Gabriel's career. Amen. Anyway, back to Impact. Allie, the Impact Knockouts champion, took on Su Yung. Who is Su Yung?
The wife of Rich Swann.
Oh, is Rich Swann headed to Impact? Wait, is he the one is she the one he beat the crap out of?
Yeah.
Oh, I retract my statement. Anyway, let's see. Allie won via pinfall to retain her championship. Sutter then proposed to Su Yung, and then she spit red mist in his face and gave him the mandible claw because that happens. Okay, big match. Main event. Austin Aries, the 6-belt title holder, took on Pentagon Jr. and his brother Phoenix for the Impact World Championship. Who would you guys like to see win this match? Before I tell you who wins this match.
Who do I want to see win this match? I'd love to see Pentagon win this match, but it's going to be Aries.
Jaime?
I saw Aries tweeting about the setback, so it's either one of the two masked guys.
Well, you're both right. It was Pentagon Jr. He is the new Impact World Champion, but Eli Drake does hold the contract for that belt at a later date. So, apparently, post-match, Phoenix walked up to his brother and gave him a hug, and they celebrated, and that was redemption. Judging from what I've seen, heard, and talked to people about, it was the best Impact pay-per-view in years. So, if Impact can carry on this momentum, maybe, just maybe they become watchful again. Daniel, does any of this sway your want to watch Impact?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
So
I might actually start watching it now.
You're going to tune in on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Pop TV?
Oh, no, it'll definitely be DVR when I'm laying in bed, stoned out of my mind.
Check your local cable provider, ladies and gentlemen. That's 8 p.m. Thursday nights on Pop TV right after The Young and the Restless.
If you don't have cable, shoot me a message on Twitter at RealDDirect, and I can hook you up with DirecTV.
There you go. He works for AT&T. All right. Jaime, do you have any interest in Impact now?
I actually do. I always have. I'm just not able to follow it on a weekly basis, but rather I do backtracking the week after. So I'm still interested in Impact. Come on, it's the real house that AJ Styles built.
No, it's not. It's the house that JEFFJARREET literally built.
Literally, but kayfabe.
No.
Who made it a household name?
No. Who made it a household name? Hulk Hogan.
Woo!
Dixie Carter. They made it household names for how terrible it became. Good gravy. I just had this argument with somebody today.
Good gravy. Do you want to go on the gravy train?
And that is a fact of life. Anyway, all right.
Dummy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's. I am so glad that
Actually
is.
have
Go ahead, Jaime.
dummy. Yeah.
I am so glad that is becoming a thing with us. All right, let's do our parting shots before we get out of here. Dan, what's one big thing we have not talked about that we need to talk about this week?
The NFL draft.
Oh, yeah, Thursday. Who goes number one to the Browns?
I hope for your sake, Saquon Barkley.
Who's actually going to go number one to the Browns?
Josh Allen.
Oh, no, Darnold, really?
I think Josh Allen's a better quarterback.
But who do the Browns pick?
I think they're going to take Josh Allen, which means Sam Darnold's going to be a star in the NFL.
With the New York Football Giants. Too bad he won't have Odell Beckham to throw to. Anyway, Jaime, give me one parting shot. What's one big thing we haven't talked about that we need to talk about this week?
Babel USA, the wrestling section. We're looking for writers right now. So, and you're going to find this show on Babel USA. So, keep listening.
No, you screwed it up. You did it so well. It was so well, but those last two words are for the end of the show. It's been a year, Jaime. It's been a literal year, and you still screwed this up. A year, Jaime. A year. You haven't missed a show in a year, and you still screw this up.
And we haven't even plugged ourselves yet.
Thank you.
Dummy. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. My one big thing that we have to talk about are 4 deaths that have occurred in the world that have kind of affected me in some way, shape, or form. First Lady Barbara Bush, our wife and mother of 2 presidents, passed away. Vern Troyer, Mini-Me from Austin Powers, passed away. One of my favorite movies, The Spy Who Shagged Me. Love that movie. And sadly, he was gone at the age of 49. And then, obviously Bruno Sammartino, he passed away last week. One of, if not the best draws and work horses of professional wrestling has passed away, but probably the one that mattered the most to me, being a former Marine and, Full Metal Jacket being one of my favorite movies, was Gunny. Arlie Ermy passed away. And I saw something on Facebook that kind of made a lot of sense, was that it made sense that he had to go to escort the former First Lady into heaven. And, seeing somebody that was talented at what he did and loved the Marine Corps and loved the country as much as he did, and seeing him pass it sucked. But, they're all in a better place now, and our thoughts and prayers are with them and with the people that were affected by the tragedy that happened today in Toronto, where a van drove into several crowds of people and killed at least 9 and injured 16 others. It's still very much unfolding, and, all of us here at all the websites we're working on, and the 3 of us, we wish everybody the best, and our thoughts and our prayers are with them as well. But let's not end it on such a sour note. Let's plug ourselves. Jaime, where can we find you on Twitter? Promote the website and tell us about what you're working on.
You can find me on Twitter at @thegreatJLA. I'm also the editor for the wrestling section of Babel USA. And as I mentioned, we're looking for writers. You can find this podcast there. So if you are listening to the podcast and you're interested in writing for us, just give me a DM on my Twitter. Again, it's @thegreatJLA.
All right, Daniel, plug yourself.
You guys can find me here for the time being. Eventually, you'll be able to find me back at hoopball.com talking some basketball here. I'm going to try to get something on over there talking about these playoffs, my Milwaukee Bucks. bunch of different
Our
stuff.
Milwaukee Bucks.
They're my Milwaukee Bucks over there. But anyway, like Jaime said, Babel USA, we are looking for writers. If you have a passion about sports, if you have a passion about professional wrestling, if you have a passion about amateur wrestling, shoot Jaime a message. Don't message me because I won't respond. But you can find me on Twitter at TheRealDDirect.
All right, and I guess that just leaves me, and I want to remind everybody, we are not only just on Babel, we are also still on the home of this podcast that has been our home since the very beginning, and that's RealSport101.com. We are always looking for content there as well. You can write for both places or just one or the other. We got a talented group of writers in each place. You can find us both on RealSport101.com and on Babel USA. As far as me, my book, you can now buy a tangible copy that you can hold in your hand. You can buy that at Lulu, that's LULU.com. Search my name, Ed Burkeen. You'll bring forth that book. It's $12. It'll make a great Mother's Day, Father's Day, birthday, Christmas, anniversary, bar mitzvah, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, any kind of gift that you're looking for. You can buy that book. The title's way too long to mention. Just search my name into LULU.com, and you can buy it there. You can also look out for my next work. It's going to be called We Were Spoiled. It's going to be a look at how wrestling got to the point where it is today, and maybe, just maybe, making the argument that wrestling now is better than it ever was in the Attitude Era. You can find me on BabbleUSA.com. You can also find me on RealSport101.com. You can also find me in the Journal and Noble County Leader and Crossroads Magazine. So if you're ever in Southeast Ohio, look me up, especially if you're in the town of Caldwell, Ohio. Buy the newspaper. We come out every Monday. You can also find me at Twitter at Ed at the Journal. That's EDATTHEJOURNAL. That's Ed at the Journal. You can find me there. Well, guys, we've hit the end of another show. So, for all of us here at RealSport101.com, Babel USA, and the Caps, Locks, and Chair Shots podcast, if you're not down with this show, Dan, Jaime, and myself, I got 2 words for ya. Keep listening.